Hello viewers and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 5 to my game with Rome, in which I am trying to win a domination victory on a continent's map. As I mentioned in the intermezzo, I fast forwarded to turn 283 because this is the turn that things finally start to get interesting. So let me just take you for a brief ride through our empire. I was beelining for radar to build Pentagon, which I successfully did a few turns ago, and then I backtracked to the military text on the bottom of the Renaissance tree, along with railroad and now telegraph, electronics and rocketry and so on. Research agreements really helped boost my research in this era. So I'm now ready for conquests. As you can see, all my cities are well established, and I already have railroad tracks to all my important cities, including naval railroad connection to Babylon from Kume. So all my core cities are connected by railroad, and I'm not planning on connecting any more cities with railroad because railroads cost a lot of money, and I really don't need that much production in Pesgerde, for example, or Venice. I connected Neapolis with the harbor as well, so it gets a cheap railroad connection, and I'm probably going to do the same with Ravenna, or maybe I'll even connect Ravenna by railroad later, I don't know. So we are still focusing on production. We have some commerce cities like Ravenna to help us stay afloat. And I built Arretium. I failed to mention that in my last video because it has the Great Barrier Reef. And it also is using some tiles that are too far away for Rome to use. I was hoping that there would be some aluminum here, but there wasn't, unfortunately. So yes, these are more cities, and as you can see, the AIs are expanding into my lands as well. Of these cities, maybe this one is interesting, and maybe this one here. And Egypt also placed some cities onto my continent, which are going to get killed later. In any case, we were lucky. We had a small batch of aluminum here, and that's all we have for now. But we were blessed with oil. We have some oil fields here in the desert. We have some oil here on the coast, and we also have an oil field up here in the north. So I had to found another city here, which will also serve as a commerce city, and it's doing okay, I guess. I managed to pull off some wonders as well in my planned wonder city, the Pentagon, the Taj Mahal and the Louvre, which boosted our production even more. It also gave us a lot of money. So what did I do? I decided there are three major opponents in this game. It's Japan, which is arguably the largest one, and will be probably the most difficult one to take. And we have Egypt, which is not liked by either Japan or the Incas, and we have the Incas who are the financially strongest. Let me show you. Yes, the Pachacuti is not in a golden age, and he's generating a lot of money, and also has aluminum down here, 8 aluminum. So I decided that it would be the best to prevent any UN victories because Pachacuti can easily go for that, and I decided to attack the Incas. All the AIs are far away, so I had to prep for a long time, and it took even a longer time to get all the units in position and yada yada. So that's why I skipped so many turns, and I decided I think it's now a good time to actually comment a bit on how to perform intercontinental invasions. First, you need a lot of production, and you don't need that many cities. You need resources, you need oil, but you can get away with like 4 cities if you really need to. What you need is production, and what you need is tech. And there is a very large number of different kinds of units that you need to have for a proper invasion. So up here is my northern invasion force, which consists of 3 battleships that took ages to build. I have 2 infantry, 1 great general, and 2 destroyers, a carrier with 2 bombers and a fighter, and 1 artillery to be and 1 infantry to be once I capture a city. So I can upgrade them. I didn't want to waste any more turns waiting within my borders to upgrade them. I'd simply move them out as they are. And I have another strike force down here. These are my guys from my earliest conquests that are now being upgraded to state-of-the-art technology. I befriended Cape Town so I can move my units close to Pachacuti, and also to prevent, Cape Town was an ally of Inca, to prevent Pachacuti from conquering these Egyptian cities here, because he was very close to doing so. So I'm now using a 2-sided attack. One will go to Machu, and the other will try to push in one of these directions, either Abydos, which was an Egyptian city, or maybe here, where probably is Inca's capital, or here, depending on where his units are. So this is one of the ways you can do an intercontinental attack. Befriending a city-state on the hostile continent is an excellent idea, and I'm not the one who invented it. And there is also one good strategy decision. If you are going to attack another continent, it's best to do so on a peninsula. So Machu is the ideal city for the first conquest on an enemy continent. Why is this so? Because it's outside of bombard range of adjacent cities, and it's a peninsula, so that means I can place my infantry units here, and place my artillery units back here without fear from enemy melee unit retaliation. I can hold off Machu for, indefinitely, I guess, especially with this many ships and especially battleships and bombers and fighter planes. So either a peninsula or a city-state, or maybe, I don't know, this city here would probably also be a good one because it's also a peninsula. But try to avoid cities like Novgorod, for example, because it's protected by Rostov. Rostov is close by. And try to avoid cities like this, Humanaga, because it is like a peninsula, but Brussels is allied with Incas, and it would be a pain because of the Rock of Gibraltar and this mountain to actually move units around here, juggle them properly. So Machu is a much better candidate. St. Petersburg suffers from the same problem as Novgorod here. Is being protected by this city, Humanaga here, and Machu here. So there is no room to maneuver around St. Petersburg to effectively attack it from the sea. I'm probably going to do a similar analysis for Japan and Egypt later, but for now let's focus on the task at hand. The Incas asked us actually whether we are just passing through or going to war with them, and we lied to them. We said no, because he has his caravels and a ship here, and I have some embarked units. So if I didn't lie, they would just one-shot my units, and that would mean the end of my northern conquest army. So I'll guess I just lived. Guess I'll have to learn to live with my, with myself, being a liar and all. And I'm upgrading my units here still, very cheaply because of Pentagon. And I'll soon be ready. I'll actually start my war here a few turns before I start moving these units out. These units can wait for a bit. They will still be they are still being upgraded. So, and I also need to upgrade this unit. I already have electronics for mechanized infantry, and I actually have a bomber here which I need to move. There we go. And this city can now produce what will I need? I need more destroyers. I have only 4, I think. And in one turn it's going to start building submarines as well. Eratium can start on... Eratium is the barrier reef city. It can start on a theater. As you can see, my cities are building theaters because I'm expecting a large drop in my happiness due to my future conquests, and it's always good to be ahead in happiness if you can manage. Add workboat for this oil well here, and the seaport after that as well, and the lighthouse. Okay. Excellent. We are soon ready to attack. I could maybe even do it now. Infantry, artillery. No, I'll wait for one more turn. It doesn't really matter. Refrigeration, which means submarines. Japan has a high naval unit build probability, so actually in this case it's okay to go with submarines. Most civs don't have that, so most civs don't build a lot of ships, so you can probably skip submarines with those. I will go with combustion and then nuclear power, or no, I'll go with lasers and then atomic theory because I want jet fighters. Really, I need them against Japan especially. Okay, it's time to start the invasion. First, upgrade these units. There we go. Artillery. These ships can move here to blockade any attempts from maybe a smaller or slower ship from here to attack. And this guy can move here as well and upgrade to infantry. And okay, it's time to start the war. So Pachachuti, let's see what can we sell you. Maybe horse, no. Aluminum for say 100 gold. Sure. And declare war. And we are treacherous bastards. Kill the caravels off to prevent any surprises. Look at this. It's Incan artillery coming home. Nice. There we go. And it's time to start bombarding. These guys. Great General, you go over there. Great General here. Okay, let's start the bombardment of the city. Maybe a bit more sounds a bit. Not many players.